the chairman of the Presidential Elections Committee, General Secretary of
Oheneba Media for Efremui, I am Media Royals, Media Moadeshiano, Asiabana, Aintasamana, Amamlani Amani Mujmedie, Oheneba Media Betinete, Intaman for Muntie, and Yado.
Right, Ebusia, Mamuna Quab, and Fambra Oheneba Media,
distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen,
Abidi and Como Sabri, ya Concry, no, you couldn't cry, you need to Walisa Hotel and cry, man, Stemunimu. And the new Patriotic Party, NPP, among you couldn't or more about dumping or how Moko, I could eat Medibi or Medibay and a woman do ho. Yebekaya, if we say NPP among you couldn't, Equabato so. 2024 na omudi enchupoto ma ye mampanin His Excellency John Dramani Mahamadi Mukunimno one more de near mahudu gwa kwan mu sebe yenu besan yi franka krafo na wabe pray eye franka to bredi breno ede ama amanyuku no na afimpi mienu ne adunu nwotwe wo masan de na akosi agan na sabri enipa num na akofa nkrata so mbe pray etu franka ma NPP amanyuku no eye Honorable Kennedy Kwame Ohene Akompreku e Japan oye Kane eye Asin North Marche Bidweni ebio eye Dr. Brian Champon abitifin Marche Bidweni sanso na Dr. Laji Mamudu Wome Kane Vice President no say Kane flag bearer adma NPP afin so eye Dr. Ya Ose Yeduchum eye Bosuntwen Marche Bidweni and afin so Honorable Kwabena J Japan Kane General Secretary adma NPP Amunyuku no ni penuma womo air preso betu franka ma Amunyuku na sabe de tension pa koso Amunyuku no mani atenidie ene to kwa mentimi ho asene ade sorry no enu tim penifo afre meeting say womomrai na womone stakeholders na National Peace Council Ghana Police Service na fence won e ka ho electoral commission ade nyina mebom no me meeting na womon form sanche krata say about the baso the 1st January wa muso bebo ade ntokwa beba no emra actually na busua meeting ko sabre IGP Christian Tete Yohunu e na wo kasa ti yenko na yenkoti IGP ye ba ye beto aso.
We are assuring you that at least 70 is the least number of a police number that will be at each police station. We have deployed heavily. All senior officers countrywide are going to be at the polling station. We have the inner deployment, the middle deployment, and then the outer deployment. Outer deployment is heavily loaded. I want to assure you that we have done a lot of training and preparation, and that my regional commanders have called me and said that they are even ready for the elections today. The caution has been given by the General Secretary. The caution is that we will not entertain any parasecurity at the police station. We have heard social media and others, and sometimes some of the leaders of the party have forwarded some voices to me to let me know that some group of individuals are planning to deploy macho men. Yes, we are cautioning that police are more macho than the macho men you deploy. That when it comes to the stage, that these macho men will not take advice from the caution that is given them. And they come to the police station and then we arrest them. I'm pleading. Nobody should call me. word is that police is ready. And so we are giving you all the assurance that we'll do our work peacefully, and then we'll contribute heavily to make sure that at the end of the day, the one you want to be the presidential candidate, who you want to let the person stand for the NPP party, will come out victoriously under a peaceful security arrangement. And so, Honorable Chair, the police want to thank you for reposing this confidence in us, that you want the police to do this security, to provide a security. And we are happy to come here in our numbers, because what is happening today is about signing of peace pact. And because we are peace officers, that is why we have come here in our numbers. All that we want is that there should be peace, so that at the end of the day, everything will go on successfully, and we shall all enjoy the fruits of the exercise that we have gone through. Thank you very much, and God bless everybody as we prepare for this election. Thank you.
Inti IGP Christian Tete Yohunu ono ena yete nenkano se wode nsem atudwa ewo Alisa Hotel ba bia NPP amanyukunu mu atwetwuro ni ani ntini atwahia won mokohwe na asumdwe bua omodo omusa akwakohya ase sebe na Primaries beba so on the 31st of this month no etimi aye jojojo na sabre kane mampani His Excellency Nana Ado Danko Ekufuado wakudu dwumadi no ase a kyese woko ni nyasem keto duru fans ankrofo de man ado show boy ado free SHS na nya de keto a sanso so na yo nti abusunya sabre Yera Hackman Owusu Ajiman ono chair of the National Council of the NPP ono na sabre o kasa yenkonkuti Ora Hackman Owusu Ajiman.
Chairman of the Council of Patrons, Chairman of the party and the leader of our leader in Parliament, Honorable Sewusu, our friends and colleagues, contestants, my colleagues, members of the National Council of Elders, may I respectfully also acknowledge the National Peace Council and their representatives, and my former ambassador to the United States. But most interestingly, I'd like to welcome our friends, the peace officers. They are super macho men, so that's very good. We are delighted that you are here, and all our colleagues. At the very outset, yesterday we had the privilege of being briefed by the chairman of the Parliamentary Presidential Election Committee, and we were pleased with the actions that had been taking place under their guidance. To allow me to commend the Presidential Elections Committee for the work they have done so far. From all indications, they have discharged their mandate with diligence, fairness, and transparency. This is not an easy task. And as elders of the party, we acknowledge and appreciate their efforts. They deserve our collective confidence and support as they bring this crucial process to its conclusion. The distinguished ladies and gentlemen, elections by their very nature are some emotional events. We are all human, and it is natural that passions may run high, especially after the declaration of the results. However, we must all accept a fundamental truth. At the end of the process, there will be only one winner. The peace, stability, cohesion of our party will largely depend on how we, especially the candidates, conduct themselves after the primaries. The processes leading to this point have been fair and transparent. We therefore appeal strongly to all the candidates to remain absolute in their confidence in the Presidential Elections Committee and the established institutions, including the Ghana Police Service. There's no need for private security arrangement. Trust in the system that we have collectively built over the years, which is essential for preserving peace and order. And for that, I say, if any of you have any macho groups, have any people who are going to give us problems, I say, dismantle them now. Dismantle them now. From 1992, we have always conducted our internal elections without problems. And I'm hopeful that this time too, it will be the same. So whatever you have, which is contrary to the regulations, please dismantle them. You are people, you are party people, our nephews, please dismantle them. We further plead with all the candidates to refrain from making accusations against the committee or the party after the elections. Such actions, particularly when emotions are high, can undermine confidence in the party and erode the unity we have worked so hard to build. Leadership demands responsibility, restraint, and a commitment to the greater good of the party. The ceremony and the memorandum of understanding to be signed today are therefore not mere formalities. No, they represent a solemn pledge on your part to place the party above the individual ambition. The party is supreme. It is through this party that we have produced President of the Republic and implemented policies that have transformed lives across the nation. None of us is bigger than our party. We are mindful that tensions may also arise among supporters. This is natural in any competitive contest. However, candidates and leaders, as candidates and leaders, you bear special responsibility to calm your supporters and not inflame passions. Words spoken and actions taken in moments of tension can have lasting and damaging consequences. True leadership is demonstrated not only in victory, but also how disappointment is managed. Let us therefore, by our conduct before, during, and after the primaries, demonstrate to the people of Ghana and the international community that our party is committed to peace, unity, internal democracy, and respect for the rule of law. Let us protect the image of our party at all times, regardless of the outcomes. As elders, our colleagues are saying, our appeal is simple. Our appeal is simple, sincere. Remain united, remain disciplined, and remain committed to the ideals upon which our great party was founded. If we do so, we will emerge from this process stronger, more cohesive, and better positioned for the task ahead. I'd like to thank you all, and I wish all the candidates the best of luck on behalf of the National Council of Elders. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, our chairperson for the National Council of Elders. We crave your indulgence. We are almost done with all our goodwill messages and statements from our dignitaries. Would now like to invite the minority leader in Parliament, Honorable Alexander Afenyomarkin.
Acting National Chairman of our party, Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, former President of the Republic, Chair Council of Elders, Chair Council of Patrons, Chair Presidential Elections Committee, the IGP and members of the Police Management Board, members of the Peace Council, presidential aspirants, Council of Elders, national officers, colleague leaders in Parliament, and members of the Minority Caucus, patriots, and members of the media. Let me start off by saying that opposition is painful and lonely. We know this. Good friends don't pick up calls. They ignore us and they find new friends. We are living it. We feel it every day. And surely, none of us wants to remain there. We want power to serve, to transform lives, and to move Ghana forward. But power does not come through division. Power comes through discipline. Power comes through unity. Power comes through sacrifice. Let us therefore rise above anger. Let us rise above insults. Let us rise above short-term emotions for long-term victory. Let us protect the party that has given us voice, purpose, and hope. And when the contest is over, let us close ranks, lock arms, and march forward together, stronger, wiser, and united towards victory 2028. Our future depends on it. Our party depends on it. And Ghana is counting on us. Acting Chair, colleagues here gathered. Political competition is a necessary and healthy feature of every democracy. However, it is how that competition is managed, particularly in moments of heightened ambition and strong emotion, that defines the maturity of a political party and ultimately the stability of the nation. Internal party elections are not merely contests among individuals. They are tests of institutional strength, discipline, and commitment to shared values. The choice to focus on peace at this stage is therefore both timely and commendable. Peace does not happen by accident. It is the product of deliberate leadership, clear rules, mutual respect, and a collective decision to place the long-term interests of the party and the country above short-term personal gains. Ghana's democracy has been sustained over the years because political actors across party lines have repeatedly demonstrated restraint in movements that could easily have descended into conflicts. This reputation has not come cheaply. It must not be taken for granted. Distinguished aspirants, your supporters look to you not only for vision and policy ideas, but for cues on conduct. The tone you set will be a tone that filters down to the grassroots. When leaders speak with restraint, supporters listen with restraint. I humbly, therefore, on behalf of the mighty 87 in Parliament, urge all aspirants to conduct their campaigns with civility, respect for internal regulations, and unwavering commitment to peaceful engagements. Disagreements are inevitable in any competitive process, but they must be managed through dialogue, established mechanisms, and the authority of the party's institutions, not through public confrontation, insinuation, or rhetorics that deepen divisions. Today is not an ordinary party ritual. It is a test of leadership and patriotism. This peace pact is not only about who wins on January 31st. It is about whether on 1st February and beyond, the NPP will still be strong, united, and credible in the eyes of Ghanaians. Ghana is watching a party that has, at its best, delivered significant reforms. Talk of the free SHS, talk of the health insurance, talk of the industrialization drive, 1D, 1F. Ghana is also watching a party that is anxious, polarized, and yearning for competent, honest, visionary leadership again. The stakes are higher than the ambitions of any single aspirant in this room. Unity and the cause of division. Let's note, the history of this tradition teaches us a simple truth. Whenever the NPP is united, it is formidable, and whenever it is divided, it bleeds, and Ghana pays the price. Remember the 1979 election, the PFP and the UNC. The rest we all know. Factionalism may energize internal contests, but it weakens the party's capacity to win national election and to govern effectively. And I was sad hearing that the respected Professor Frimpong Boateng saying publicly that he did not vote in 2024 elections. This is what division can do to us. It's unfortunate. Unity is not a slogan. Unity is conduct. It is a discipline to disagree without destroying one another. The humility to accept outcomes we may not like, and the maturity to place the national project above personal disappointment. Every single insult traded, every unsubstantiated allegation, every attempt to demonize a rival today becomes a weapon in our opponent's hand tomorrow. At this delicate moment, the internal division heralding the 31st January contest are not confined within the walls of this party. They spill over into the nation's governance. A fractured NPP does not only risk losing another election, it weakens Parliament's ability, especially the mighty minority's ability, to stand as a bulwark against excesses, impunity, and bad governance. When leading figures are at war with each other, when energies are spent on intra-party skirmishes instead of national oversight, the NDC government and the majority in Parliament are given a free pass. As your caucus in Parliament is determined to repeat the industry of the J.H. Mensah 1997 group of 61, we must say that our ability to act with vigilance, cohesiveness, and fearlessness in holding the current administrative to account shall materially depend on the unity that we carry to do our work in Parliament. That duty will be undermined when indeed the internal contest is poisoned by mistrusts, name-calling, and threats of retribution. A house divided at the grassroots and in the leadership ranks cannot be a formidable opposition in Parliament. Every time party actors choose internal sabotage over solidarity, they blunt the sharp edge of the minority's oversight. When committees need unified backing to investigate corruption, when critical votes demand tight coordination, and when national crises call for clear, united voice, internal fractures translate into parliamentary weakness. Let no one deceive themselves. The divisions surrounding this primary go beyond party offices. They risk crippling the mighty minority's collective and effective ability to check the Mahama administration and the majority in parliament. If this primaries becomes a festival of insult instead of a contest of ideas, if it leaves behind bitterness instead of brotherhood, then the real victor will not be any aspirant on this stage. The real victor will be a complacent government and a comfortable majority who knows that a divided NPP cannot credibly challenge them on corruption, economic hardship, and institutional decay. As presidential hopefuls, you are not just candidates. You are standard bearers of the NPP tradition. Your words can inflame or calm. Your body language can reconcile or rupture. Before January 31st, your responsibility, my dear aspirants, is to campaign on ideas, record, and vision, not on insult, threats, and division. Your teams must be guided by discipline in their messaging and respect in their engagements. On 31st January, you must submit fully to the agreed processes, respect the electoral committee, obey security directives, and ensure your supporters avoid intimidation, vote buying, and violence. After January 31st, your obligation is to accept the verdicts of the delegate with dignity, whether it favors you or not, and to work publicly and unequivocally with the elected flag bearer. A peace pact that ends with signatures but not with changed behavior is a betrayal of this moment and of Ghana. If this peace pact is to have meaning, it must translate into clear commitments. 1, refrain from personal attacks and character assassination, focusing instead on policies and competence and vision. To reject violence, intimidation, and any ethnic or regional incitement. To use internal party mechanisms, not public warfare, to resolve grievances. To stand together with elected flag bearer within days of the results, and to integrate talent from all camps into one campaign. Emphasis: integrate talent from all camps into one campaign. Ghana needs this party back, not as a wounded, quarreling organization, but as a renewed, united, serious alternative. The country does not need leaders who are prisoners of their egos. It needs leaders who are servants of the Republic. To conclude, let me respectfully and humbly, but with firmness, submit to our aspirants. Your greatest legacy will not be whether you became a flag bearer. It will be whether your conduct helped preserve and strengthen this tradition and empower the mighty minority to hold this government to account. To the leadership of our party, enforce these commitments fairly and firmly. To the grassroots, refuse to be used as instruments of division. Let this peace pact be more than ink and handshakes. Let it be a covenant with delegates, with this tradition, and with the people of Ghana. That is this party, that this party will be worthy of another opportunity to serve. And that's united, it will equip the mighty minority to fearlessly defend the Republic of Ghana. Thank you so much for your kind audience, and God bless our party.
Thank you very much. That was the minority leader. Would now like to invite, finally, the former president of the Republic of Ghana, slight change in the program. We'll go ahead with the second part of the program, and His Excellency would address us after that. So I'd now like to hand over to my colleague, Richard, as he manages and takes us through the very important part of the program, the Peace Pact document. Thank you.
Eko akopre Franka Crawford Dibre no ewa monyoku ni mu nyina ebeko benkrum na wonu mu de omunsa ahye asumdue krata se beye na abato eba so bosumi wo mi de to so aduasa ba kwana se bosumi de twa to kra no etimi de asumdue abenti honorable Alexander Kwame na Afenyo Markin ono na oye minority leader ewo Ghana emrashibedwe fi osan so ye emrashibedwe ne ogina hode ma de hye wo efutu abato empeso aso na chese winiba ene important yete ne kana semo kan ina no asumdue ene nkabo mu dewru ena obo ya wo kire mu se woni a ejina prayer Franka Crawford Dibre no won hwe se wo monne ye wo musu wo kasa ene o ma de on be nyina no enya nsunsuanso bone ewo amanyuko no sisan se wo hwe mu a den a ba kope ene ekoto aba ne wi a obedi mu enkunim na ekoba se wonu mu kasa ene woni ye ede ekam bi ebeka onipa foforo a na se ono nso ne beto aba ne bi no edi mu nkunim a na okoya na mobile na sabre na party no na ejije nti omo hwe se party ne be party be gina na so pampe na timi apretumi na sabre mu opposition nto no omatimi aye omo nema ede a check aban a wote suwi se efa na ye ketase hye project kankan dwirim de sika sem ho hyehyeye ene policies ahodo aban ne be ba nyina no omatimi aye opposition a omatimi so aban ne tuja bu ne tuja kohu na wotimi gina na so na adwumadi bi aban ne be no etimi akoso nti eno ene asema honorable Alexander Kwame na Afenyo Markin osahin odi tudwa ewo adwumadi na sena sabre ya menemu ekase enche na kane mampani His Excellency Nana Ado Dankwa Ekufu Ado ono so ede na no disem eba aba betudwa na yetie de ho na sabre mame sense suma se NPP amonyoku no hwetwe wuro ne ani ntire ho no na nke wo se former president John Kufidi Ewaje kumkufo wo babi nanso ye nyina yinim se papa baby a wedru no ni mpomu ago kakra ena fesu ne ma ba kumenu bi etwa na kwam 20 ankwa kudu dwumedi nas ne mum former president Akufo Addo ewo bi former vice president Dr. Bomi ono so esa contest for a presidential candidate no ewo hobi former chief of staff honorable Akusia Fremo Sel Pare ewo hobi sa enso so na ye hu honorable Hackman Usu Ajiman and acting chairman Edema the New Patriotic Party honorable Smith Dankwa Bute and I said Dankwa Smith Bute or Hobby honorable Stephen Intim our national chairman of the NPP no ne ho dodo no enti watwe ne ho afri NPP among you semu kakra owo fie na oji ayarehwe ne ahomi enu ntino ni wa acting chairman Dr. Dankwa Smith Bute ejine mo de man ye hu se national organizer Nana Abuache Nana B ewo ho no mu general secretary honorable Justin Frimpong Kodua enso ewo ho no mu bi a chese amanyoku no mu emumpanifo first vice chairperson Rita Sobaire ene ade ewo ho nti sabre parliamentary presidential candidates a won mo pray na ye hwe se mu nyina ebekwa kwotena ase na Peace Pact no mo de wo nsa ahya ase nti ehu se wo hwe free wo mekan se unifa so a ehu se Dr. Yaw Osei Edutwum ono ena ote ehonom no Dr. Yaw Osei Edutwum okay honorable Kwabena je Japan ene shefita na ote unifa so no na afi aba Dr. Yaw Osei Edutwum hwe na atade na se buru bi kakra na de oto aso ye Dr. Laji Mamudu Bamia wo shefurugu na odeto na afi so Dr. Brian Champon to ane so ono so shefurugu fifu etiwa ne chetuntum etu ya na pampam na honorable Kennedy Kwame Akomprekun Japan ono so shirt fufu a ote last no nti we no ne presidential candidate a wo mo ekwa akopre na ye behwa analysis kakra pedifo edo mo akogina ano se wo nkopre Franka Crawford no obi a ewo ne strength and ne weaknesses na ohwe number 1 on the ballot honorable Kennedy Japan the man Crawford pe honorable Kennedy Japan asem ne se oyobi a oka ne boso asem omusu se oyobi a oka no kre ohun sade ne fita obeka izuntum obeka oyobi so a oboa enkrofo a chese se wonimu so onimu se wa hohihia mu nkwa na usufre honorable Kennedy Japan a obeboa ma bia yi oyobi so a ode ne sika ene na hode aboa NPP mojuku ne titiri bra na mo opposition free 2012 edeba na se free 2008 bis 2016 no na oyo vocal na otimi ebo Mahama administration no obo ne chipa oyobi a na chese abreni nyina obetia platform de na John Dramani Mahama ne NDC pa no fire mu a ɔyɛ boa yɛ de ne radio station ɛyɛ Oman FM afei so ne TV station ne 2 ne radio station Kumase Ash FM NAP radio ne wɔ Central Region ne adeɛ ɔde ne nyinaa ɛyɛ adwuma ɛde boa ɛyɛ ɔmo former candidates ɔsan yɛ former president Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo ɛmɛ ti wudi mu nkunim ebi sɛ n'ani yɛ den paa ɛnu ti na ɔmo de ɔmo akyi tɛma ne san so yobi a obetumi agye tumi ɛde ama the New Patriotic Party no na ɛba ne weaknesses nso ankorɔfo sɛ ɔkasa kɛkɛ obi a sɛbesɛbe nano ɛnna asɛm a ne kene Japan bɛka kokoom no bɛba bɔntene ebi ɔpɛ ntɔkwa dodo ɛne ɛma ntɔkwa ne sɛbesɛbe nneɛma a ɛnsɛm fata ɔyɛ bi ebi so kyerɛ sɛ papa yi sɛ ɔkyɛ wadeɛ koraa ne a ɔkyena ɔde bɛsan aba bɛgyina radio so abɛka ne adeɛ enti no oni na ebi si onni kokoɔ kene Japan ni kokoɔ na koma bɛn no oyobi a kyerɛ sɛ obi a na ne buafu na ɔyɛ dide ɛne adeɛ enti no saa ɛhɔ no kakra ne ne weaknesses a ɛno so nkrɔfo ahwɛ ɔmo awie afei firi ne so anaba honorable Dr. Brian Champon Dr. Brian Champon obi a ɛyɛ wabene akwadare ɛwɔ ɛyɛ business mu anaasɛ ɛyɛ dwadie mu nti wohwɛ a uba ebibre mu a the biggest hotel in Africa ɛwɔ ɛyɛ bibama de ɛyɛ ɔno na wasie ɛno the Rock City Hotel ɛwɔ Kwankwatia ɔsan wɔ businesses ahodoɔ a ɛne ɛba no ɛyɛ hospitality industries no a ɔwɔ businesses bebree hotels bebree ebi ɛyɛ IT systems nso ɔyɛ mu adwuma ɛna ɔsan yɛ obi a wayɛ adwuma sɛsrɛ ni ɛwɔ America man no mu pɛn enti ne nimdeɛ a wagada ne adeɛ no tina aboa ɛma ɔno abo Dr. Brian Champon fi sɛ ɔyɛ leader obetumi adi ɔman n'anim na emom adeɛ a ɛtwe ne ba fam kakra yɛ baabi a ofiri eyi na nim sɛ former president Akufo-Addo ɛyɛ chini a ofiri ɛyɛ Apue Mantem ɔyɛ chini kuapini a ofiri Apue Mantem Brian Champon so no ɛyɛ kwawuni a ɔno so firi Apue Mantem enti akɔyɛ sɛ sesia na yɛto aba ɛde ama obi ofiri Eastern Region wadi party na free 2008 ade abesi 2024 enti no for all these years na about 16 years na yenya obi ofiri Eastern Region na di party na ma yentimi san kɔto aba ma obi ofiri Eastern Region me di party na nim ɛna de toss me no so ɔyɛ very young ɛna wɔn hyɛda nye known do nipa nim ne kakra no ɔnyɛ well known sa enti nke be a ɔno ɔntwɛn na ɔnkɔ ensign review ɛno ne ade a ɛno so no edi Brian Champon enya kakra na ɛyɛ Dr. Alhaji Mahmood Bawumia so ne strength ni bi ne sɛ wadi kan party na di kan atɔn no bɛsɛ mfirihyɛ dunsia nie sɛ ɔbɛyɛ running mate ɛde ma Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo from 2008 ɛde bɛ 2012 na 2016 ɔbɛyɛ running mate na 2017 Nyankopɔn twɛde Padaroma ɔbɛyɛ ɛyɛ vice president na 2020 abato mo san yɛ running mate de ma Akufo-Addo na ɔbɛyɛ vice president bio na 2023 wɔn to abama no sɛ ɔmɛyɛ presidential candidate na onni party na nim ne ti wɔn kyerɛ sɛ ɔmatɔn ne pa ma Ghana fo dodo na aginatum ebio watimi akwabato ne so bi ɛna yɛhwɛ ne nimdeɛ ɛwɔ ɛyɛ innovation and technology mu a yade a aboa mo man ne puntu agina na so na baabi a edi Dr. Bawumia enya kakra ne sɛ wɔn kyerɛ sɛ Ghana sikasɛm yɛde hyɛ wɔn nsa free 2017 besi 2025 yi yade a Ghana sikasɛm ɛtɔ ape dollar no baabi a na ɛda ne nsɛm ɔka opposition ne ɔbɛtena baa mu sɛ de wantimi ahwɛ dollar ne so ma dollar no ehuri kɔɔ ya no ntino na ɛno yade a ɛtene mas kakra ɛna bi nso ɛyɛ tag bi a the National Democratic Congress ne emu nipa bi ɛde atag no ma ɛnɛ mpo ɔno abɔkɛ na Japan ɛka bi sɛ he's a liar ne adeɛ no akamia kwa sɛ manfo kakra bi na sɛbe wɔn nim deɛ hyɛda nuru soro kakra no agye atum atɔ saa deɛ no ntino ɛmɛ no so no ɛha Dr. Alhaji Mahmood Bawumia na mmom ɛba na ho brase ne kasa ne composure ne adeɛ ankɔfo kyerɛ sɛ ampa wɔn no sɛ fata sɛ ɔsan kɔma NPP amanyɔkuo no na ɔno firi hɔ a na ba ɛyɛ honorable Dr. Yawosɛ Yɛdutwum papa yi ɔno na ɛbɛhwɛ Ghana ɛyɛ education ministry so free 2017 anaasɛ free 2021 esan sɛ 2017 ne ba no ano na ɛyɛ Dr. Matthew Poku Prempeh ɛna na ɛda education ministry na no yɛ deputy ma Dr. Matthew Poku Prempeh na yɛde Dr. Matthew Poku Prempeh call ɛyɛ energy ministry no ɛna yɛ elevating no ɛde ba ɛsɛ ɔmra ɛmɛyɛ minister informal education ministry ezuwe free SHS a wɔne Dr. Matthew Poku Prempeh na de ba ayɛ akyɛ so ɔmo bɔ ho dawuro ɛma ne timi gyina yɛ afei hwɛ STEM schools ahodoɔ a Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo timi sisi yɛ ebi ɛwɔ yɛ Legon wɔnkran ɛne ɛhyeta baabi bebree abomusu baabi bebree a STEM schools kpasempe ne adeɛ a STEM schools ɛwɔ hɔ no bosomtwe ne nyinaa STEM schools wɔ hɔ a saa schools yi yɛ schools a ɛyɛ science technology engineering mathematics a no ɛboa nkwadaa na wɔn asua abɔdeɛ mu nyansapɛ afei nso so no abɛɛfo nimdeɛ akontabuo ɛna ɛyɛ engineering mfididwuma a kyerɛ sɛ no nso boa yɛ paa nti education ministry na ma yɛbɛhu papa no na nkurɔfoɔ kyerɛ sɛ ne ho dwo ɔsan yɛ Pentecost elder na mmom yɛnhyɛ da nim ne saa nipa dodoɔ no anim nti delegate no ɛnhyɛ da ɛnya da no ɛno nso so no akɔyɛ ɔhaw ɛde ama no na Kwabena J. Japan nso so no ɛyɛ former general secretary ɛde ma the New Patriotic Party Honorable Kwabre J Japan so ne strength ni bi ni say oyobia wodi party na chi ache pa yebeka ya fim pim yiro so 2007 enipa dunso a ekopre Franka Krafo dibre e wa NPP amanyokurum na oka ho bi enuti enu achi no be ye campaign manager edema na Nado Dankwa Akufo-Addo enu achi no de be ye general secretary a yebeka ya saa bre ni mu no a yede ko 2016 abato so na NPP party ni mu no emu huru pa eche na che nei free 2015 ho ba no na NPP party mu a hye pa na enya asem keto enti yebeka ya ono Engineer Kwabre Japan no General Secretary ena Paul Afoko Paul Awentami Afoko ano National Chairman ena Sami Crab no so ka ho bi no NPP amanyoko ni yiwo mu nyina efiri amanyoko ni ma ye suspend you anase ye dismiss you omo ebi ko suspension ebi ko dismissal a che se no de kam kakra be kan ho na side as no obi a owo nimdie ewa amanyose mu amamuo mu ni ade antinko no se otimi di NPP amanyoko ni ma enke be ye de amanyoko nanso wo mo kire se onye obi a delegate na hyeda eyada ne sanka so otimi be chief of staff anase running mate kwa na enkebe boanti we ni enipa numa wo mu agina apre Franka Krafo dwumedi no ede ama NPP amanyoko no wo mu strength ne wo mu weaknesses mi ene analysis ede ama mo so betimi de comment na ba na makenkan de ama de won so dwene hwan and on the 31st year January 2026 obedi nkunim e wo NPP wo mu amanyoko no yebeka ya NPP amanyoko yi amanyoko a efi afema pia ho afi apem ahankono ede okuno mienu 1992 ena ebegina na so apart no mo eteye ede bae na nhwe mpanifo edidi party na nima 1992 abatu no hu se yewra adubu ahen ena ekogina mu ema party na one fly Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings edi kosi ani ewi ase na yewra adubu ahen wedi ntwu abatu 1996 ena woto abadema John Ajikumkufuo ena nso betu Franka adema NPP amanyoko no ono onso ne flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings de kopre so 1996 abatu ni mu me no so so de ko wi ase no John Ajikumkufuo di mu entwo 2000 ena osan to aba edema John Ajikumkufuo se won sign ko gina NPP amanyoko ni di mu na no ne Professor John Evans Fifi Atamils ena kopre ko wi ase na John Ajikumkufuo edi abatu ni mu nkunim edi ama NPP. That was the first time the New Patriotic Party eba abam as the New Patriotic Party. Before then no na buzia aban aba betena so buzia penso no na ye UP United Party ho no na chese Northern People's Party and afin so ye UGCC mu asefo no aka ho abom abete United Party na chese Dr. Kofi Abrefa buzia the former prime minister bi di enim na Nado Dankwa Akufo-Addo ne papa Yira Edward Akufo-Addo so be ceremonial president ede ma amanyoko ko si se abantugo eba ya yetu wo maban efri abamu na 2004 ena President John Ajikumkufuo san ko prima NPP bio no di mu ko ne ma osan be gina NPP amanyoko no Franka so san ko abato ne Professor John Evans Fifi Atamils de ko yie mu a eno so ko wi ase na wasan di abato ne mu kunim ama bibia ye kama enti won mu de o mamabuo efri 2004 and 5 na de be 2009 na 2007 NPP amanyoko no ko yi Franka Tufuo na eno na akoye fierce contest pa ye be kaya na ye between Alan John Kwadwo Trematin at that time nebeka so ye established candidate and as a candidate of the establishment na sa time ne nkofo perception say pani mampani anote so John Ajikumkufuo ene NPP amanyoko no matitire ni atwetwe wuro no eta Alan John Kwadwo Trematin achi one na Nado Dankwa Akufo-Addo na de ebu omu pa yebeka ye former vice president Alhaji Aliu Mahama nyankopɔ twedi ampofa ne kra NCAE na ɔka ho bi saa so na former chairman edema NPP amanyoko no Yewra Jake Otanko Bichibilamte na ɔka ho bi Yewra Kofi Kunadu Apraku Francis Adenimo Kwabre J Japan ene mpedifo no modo so pa ayeko wi ase atakene de mu nyina ebi nyinya 1 ne ade de 0 ne ya ewo mu ekɔ wi ase na Nado Dankwa Akufo-Addo edi abato ne mu nkunim a obetu Franka na 2008 elections no eno ene ye 2 year first round no na Akufo-Addo edi nkunim first round no but na we nya 50+1% na we say otimi di be ye mampani no na enu ti na we say a sign called runoff na runoff ne san ba so no e na Professor John Evans Fifi Atamils be di mu nkunim no no e time e be kaya time e be gini di 2008 pa all because of a runoff e ba so na Professor John Evans Fifi Atamils nya 50% point some coins bi and Akufo-Addo nya 49 point something na che say ode eba ebidi entwo 2008 elections no 2011 ede kwa 2012 na Akufo-Addo san be di NPP amanyoko no me be kaya eno so so osan wini e ema ekọ national elections no okudi ntwo eno na eho asem ekodan court na that time no na Baumia Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Baumia nei oye former vice president na all sign pre no obepo pay up 2012 election petition na course 2013 no mu no Eho ene kwati pin sheet amicus curia ene yes my lord yede honorable asedu ketia ko gina court na yeso anya calculation o me calculator so ne ade nyina de kwati bi e wo ho no mo na saa bato no so no na Nana Akufo Addo NPP amanyoku nyina egitum se wo mo ne di nkunim na eye electoral commissioner na ho Dr. Kwadwo Farijan echinchim wo mo nsa ene ogi abato ni from semede ma eye John Dramani Mahama ebeka ya na 2012 na mu na eye Professor Mills ano no na nko so 2 franc card men di samanyoku no okọ ne krachi e wo ye July bosuminim kitansa bosuminim enti ekoba asa na emergency bi ba ya na wo se the vice president then eye John Dramani Mahama o azumi political officer mampeni se Ghana constitution se the chairman se mampeni bi ti so na se ofiri mu a anase bibi nti ontimi nya mampani bi mu a yensa nto aba foforo na emum na bedi akire the vice president no ene be azumi office as the president ekoba ne se mampani mail squad the crate no John Dramani Mahama be ye mampani enu ti ode ko abato so ema odi bedi mu kuni me ho court ntansa ne ade nyina e ba ye ena afa su 2016 Nana Akufo Addo esan gina ma NPP Nana Akufo Addo no o gina ma NPP mprensa na emum was starting se obepre franka no 1996 Omo a ekopre NPP flag bearership 1996 no Nana Akufo Addo eka ho bi nti ono onye ne Nana Akufo Addo osi mu achepa enu ti na obenya a certain base ewo NPP amanyoko no ma ase enipa dodo na ewo NPP amanyoko no dodo na efa Nana Akufo Addo ne ntetiye ene ne umbrella mu enu ti no obenya a strong support base ewo party no ma nti abrenya ya no mokọ eye elections otimi din kunim nti 2016 no so no Nana Akufo Addo esan board Dr. Baumia din se o me ne assistant flag bearer na se ne running mate Emmanuel one ni nyina de kwa abato so a edo no ekowi ase se o mu dimu nkunim a emrahye berum nyankonwa de be se oha ne adusan 169 seats ema eye abato so nyam be se mfishia oha nchemu be se adunum enso almost 57% na say ebin see that was the first biggest win of a political party in the country or the widest margin between John Dramani Mahama for over 1 million votes and no be a history pa na 2020 so Akufo Addo amamu sha say 2017 na nema is smooth because ebeka ya within 2017 and free education near the policies are hold on by one district one dam one village one district one factory near the by nemum eba no one village one dam one district one factory now they were not able to complete sa ene project no mo sha ase no ene bio eye COVID-19 so e de ho be mu yebeka 2019 na COVID ne bae pa na 2020 ne de ekrepu o man no e ma lockdown ne ade nyina e ba mu te ma o man economy no e be ye basa no nya effect e wa abato e koye no so a but ne nyina mu no o san di mu nkunim but e ho no na emra hyebedwom na koye bibia ho e ma MPP yebeka o munya 137 seat NND so nya 137 seat na independent ba ko sa time e ye honorable Andrew Esiama a wono e ye emra hyebedwani okogina mu no onya Nidian as independent no NPP ni na primaries on kwe no se ne bonyo sunti no okọ independent e man nkro for san to man e for me na asem na meka for me na for to man as independent ensi ekori as na o se anobaba e bibam no munya ba ko beka ho na omutimi ye majority na honorable Andrew Esiama ne o ye second deputy speaker ejitu mu se ono NPP amanyoko no free enti no de ho ebedom NPP ma omunya 138 seats of parliament a ombenya majority enti saa time ni hu se the NPP ship na esenke anaka wo 724 etu om na isi form na omo ye niema wo underground se be apart no betimi apagya na omo san di mu kunim a omo ba ban mu 2020 1 no ena niema sha ase se ejigu ekoka bibia yes Russia Ukraine war kaka bia yes COVID-19 ni ade ena taxes bi ni levies bi omo de ba ye levy betting tax ni san ni ba bi omo de ba yi na no ya ade a amwa ebio Ken Oforiata no finance minister at that time no opposition party members nipo ka say enkebe na Nana Akufo Addo nyini nsi nche no fa from na but Nana Addo aso brache a wentie asem no enu nyina ka ho na NPP di ntwo wabato ma John Dramani Mahama ababio esan be prayer otimi ebedi mu nkuni ma no so the widest margin ebetwen ye Dr. Baumia kai say voter Akufo Addo enya 2020 no any voter Dr. Baumia nya no kakra bi na beka ho sanso na voter John Dramani Mahama nya no 2020 ndo nya no 2024 kakra bi na beka ho na mom say apathy na chese nipa dodo na the whole country anto aba including Ashanti region the World Bank abato ne ba form pa percentage na was NPP nya no o menya Eastern region ni ade nyina they lost Greater Accra they lost Central make say a year regions ni nyina no NPP we need 3 a year north east maybe a Dr. Bawumia free Ashanti and an eastern region not just 16 regions no 13 ekoma ND Samuel na not just say unprecedented enu no e ma nema jiguye the be kan so a year Greater Accra region na seat e ho no e do so pa I think they have 34 seats if I'm right. I'll cross check and get back to you. Emma NPP ekura vast majority of the seats. That was 2016 no and 2020 e better kakra. But 2024 the omu lose seat anum kra nyina including Ablekuma West. Not just so be a GDC Ablekuma West NPP strongholder for the past years. NPP now hold this seat now. Honorable Eslosu Ekufu, I know a former communications minister. Ekura seat no no e bet me ehwere wo mo. Ebio seat ba kwa nanka a year NPP seat pa just will be a seat we there. The TBA was NPP etna so domi kwa benya so no NPP elusu ye na ye besa beto analysis so yenko ne yenkotie eyempanifo na yenkotie de omo kan ho na afi yemra na yemeto analysis no so
national institutions which we each have confidence in.
Politics.
However, if there is evidence at any polling station that anything was done or tolerated that affects the integrity of the election at that polling station, we will take steps to annul the results from that station. That assurance, on behalf of the committee, I want to give it to you. We gave that assurance before the Electoral Commission. The EC chair herself said so, that if there's any evidence brought to her to show that any misconduct has affected the integrity of any particular poll, that particular poll will be annulled. So be assured, if you see anything that you think affects, please bring it to our attention. We'll investigate, and if we are firm, we will take the necessary steps to protect the integrity of the election. Thank you very much. We are very grateful.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. So the process is almost done. The chair would present the signed copies to the candidates, signifying their commitment and affirmation that the process thus far has been free and fair, and that they have committed themselves to accepting the results of the 31st elections, and that they have committed themselves to support the eventual winner of the polls. Thank you very much. That was a beautiful exercise. They stand today as competitors, but their presence here and act shows that they are committed to the higher act and duty of protecting peace and unity of our party. Thank you very much. I'll invite Dr. Tibudako to carry on with the rest of the program.
Thank you very much. Please, the photographers, can you move back a little bit? And if we can have some silence, would now like to invite the former president of the Republic of Ghana, our own Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo.
Acting chairman of our great party, minority leader in parliament, the Inspector General of Police, the former Chief of Staff, members of the National Peace Council, members of the National Executive Committee of the party, the chairman and members of the Presidential Election Committee, distinguished presidential aspirants, chairman of the Council of Elders, honorable elders and members of the party, fellow patriots, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for the invitation, and I'm honored to be here at a moment that is significant, not only for the new patriotic party, but also for Ghana's democratic journey. Let me begin by congratulating our national officers, the chairman and members of the Presidential Election Committee, and all who have worked diligently to organize these primaries coming up in just 9 days' time. You are overseeing a process involving the largest number of delegates in the history of our party. That achievement speaks to the growth, depth, and democratic maturity of the New Patriotic Party. We're gratified by the presence of the Inspector General of Police and his senior officers at this ceremony, and by the undertakings he has given us today. They are reassuring signals that the proceedings of 31st January 2026 will be conducted in peace and security. IGP will count on you and your men and women to do a good job. Ladies and gentlemen, our party did not begin today, even though a handful of us were privileged enough to be around in its early days. It did not begin yesterday. Its roots go back to 1947, with the formation of the United Gold Coast Convention, UGCC, from which the Dankwa Dombo Busia tradition proudly draws its lineage. At that founding moment, a clear and principled decision was taken. Leadership would be determined by the ballot, not by force, intimidation, or intrigue. George Alfred Park Grant was unanimously elected president and chairman. J.P. Dankwa and R.S. Blay became vice president. R.A. Awono Williams served as treasurer. The other members of that inaugural executive committee were Edward Akufo-Addo, Emmanuel Obeche Bilamte, J.W. de Graaf Johnson, John Sybil, and Kwabena Kese. They were men of strong views and strong personalities, but they were united by discipline, mutual respect, patriotism, and an unshakable belief. That lesson was reaffirmed in 1992 after the first presidential primaries of the New Patriotic Party. Once the party chose Professor Albert Eduboahene as our flag bearer, all the other aspirants, including Dr. Kofi Jane Selby, Mr. John Ajekum Kufuor, and Dr. Kwame Safo-Edu, closed ranks and supported him. I was campaign manager of the flag bearer at the time, and I saw firsthand what unity meant, how discipline, sacrifice, and collective purpose strengthened the party, even under the most difficult conditions of the time. That spirit must guide us still. Fellow patriots, a party that cannot manage victory with humility or defeat with dignity cannot expect to win the confidence of the Ghanaian people. As we are reminded, a house divided against itself cannot stand. In such a house is certainly not attractive to the electorate. Ghanaians are watching not only what we say, but also how we behave. I know the campaign has generated some heat among aspirants and supporters. I believe I'm qualified to say that we have seen it all before. Do not be discouraged by the excesses. The thirst for power and the unity required to win power must combine to motivate us to choose fraternity over factionalism once the primaries are over. Permit me another personal reflection. In 1998, I contested the presidential primaries and came second to John Agyekum Kufuor, subsequently the second president of the Fourth Republic. When the contest ended, I did not hesitate. I became his chief campaigner. That decision was not about convenience. It was about conviction. The unity we demonstrated then helped deliver the first historic presidential victory of the NPP in 2000. And when years later, it became my turn, beginning in 2008, I received the same level of loyalty and support from those who had once competed against me. That tradition of fraternity carried us through difficult moments and enabled us to win and serve God. This is the inheritance we must protect. We should never forget that the ideology of the new patriotic party remains deeply attractive to the majority of Ghanaians. Our commitment to individual liberty and the respect for human rights, private enterprise, the rule of law, human development in a society of shared prosperity resonates across this country. When we falter, it is rarely because our ideas have failed. This peace pact, this commitment pact, is therefore not a mere ceremony. It is a solemn covenant, a commitment that ambition will not override fraternity, that competition will not descend into hostility, and that once the ballot has spoken, the party will move forward as one. The aspirants gathered here today, your conduct will shape the moral tone of the NPP and the future of our country. Your supporters, the grassroots, and the youth of this party are watching you. History will judge not only who wins, but also how all of you conduct yourselves. Let me be clear. The NPP is bigger than any individual. No ambition, grievance, or faction is greater than the elephant. Leadership contests must never weaken the collective cause. Unity is not optional. Unity is not a slogan. Unity is a strategic necessity for victory. So I charge all of you, this peace pact must not only be signed, it must be lived. Over the remaining days, let your campaigns be firm but fair, competitive but respectful. Ours is a tradition that rejects fear, insult, intimidation, and bitterness. Loyalty to individuals must never supersede loyalty to the party. After the primaries, there must be one party, one direction, one destiny. Let me end with confidence on a positive note. I have no doubt that the new patriotic party remains the best vehicle with the best ideas for Ghana's future. Our duty is to keep that vehicle united, disciplined, and worthy of the trust of the Ghanaian people. The we honor our history, respect one another, and put party and country above self, the future of the NPP and of Ghana herself will indeed be bright. Thank you, and I wish us all a peaceful, dignified, and unified process. May God bless the NPP and our homeland Ghana. Make both great and strong. Thank you.
Right. May God bless our homeland Ghana and make our nation great and strong. These are the words of the former president, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. The Asante Hall, Alisa Hotel, maybe at the New Patriotic Party, emu and 24 members, HSHia, or Muhes a candidate, I won't pray, so me to Frank Kadia Mama Yukunu, or Film Pimuni, a Juno train about to Womina, and almost I wish a crata sena, or Mahese Asumji, and a bat or abatu. And see, now Danko Kufado and I are questioning, and some more Kenyan or Bonnet of I should say, a Munukunu, one more principles of Mujinaso, and name, but I ain't some the tea and I said, Bema Ghana. Etumpona manford nso enya fakudie ena afenso ni yedie enunti ena omomoto ni development and freedom na baby edra eye kasantwie mentime wase koka maabo ye twase kan ne etuwe wabatu no enya de se fata ndipam nyuko nti wo musan kom achi no munkosua de wo nananom eye ye tetetefo BJ da rocha mo eye obechiblam temu ene buzi amu ye de build amu nyuko eye dombo mu ne eye nananom ati amu nyuko mu konkosua eye na ne nyina emuama eye mpuntu nti because obetimi de comment aba ye hwe eye generated first we delegate ana onye delegate we delegate a why na obeto e de ama no unye delegate nso why na we expect say obewini eye flag bearership of the NPP say we eye party fufuro bi bampo na why na person ko untu franka ma
best of luck
untu franka ma NPP a enka beto aba no e de ama the New Patriotic Party betimi de aba na yina na ye di enkomo e wa ha Oheneba Media tap send double roofing Remy Spices Kim Bernard Printing Press Fibites and our asoyas na de bro nti abusia na me analysis bi efa eye Domikwa Benyawo say it's one of the strongholds of the New Patriotic Party. Bekaya na Professor Aaron Mike Okwe ona na oti akunwa so ansana lawyer Sarah Joasafo betena so. Na the party has voted for and I say the constituent, the people of Domikwa Benya ato aba the NPP free 1996 EDBC 2020 abatu ni mo Sarah Joasafo de corporate na 2024 abatu ni yehu say Michael Kwe Jr. ene kujina muma NPP amonyuko no but the NPP lost Domikwa Benya. They lost Domikwa Benya cra chese omentimi afa kunwa na anka hono one of the constituencies the biggest constituencies in the country, one of the biggest and baby NPP nya biggest votes every pa Domikwa Benya we bantema ene ofori kromu ni ade kwada so ni ade to ncha Domikwa Benya so gina na so pa na NPP nya vote free but yenim de koba ya NPP lost Domikwa Benya ebio Ablekuma Central no akwa say swing ye can Ablekuma Central a part of Kanishi de kofa Sukura de fa some part of Hansonic part of Mataheko any idea ho na Ablekuma Central atabi okoshi empotem no nyina ya Ablekuma Central Banana Inn de kofa Zamrama line ho nyina ya Ablekuma Central na those areas no so no swing kakra NPP to me winning, NDC to me winning, but that particular time, no, not everything, every indication just say this was the time for the NPP. Wabra, Honorable Ebenezer Nina Nate Gilbert, Ebeji to me mom 2016, but 2020 unfortunately they lost the seat to the NDC, and 2024 to they lost that seat. Ablekuma Central, so Ablekuma North, Doko, Nempotemu Buzia, Edeba, part of Malam, part of Malam Unicom, Empotemu no. Edefa kwashimai kakra ne ade no ho ye Ablekuma North part of Awoshi kakra nyina ya Ablekuma North free ban yard ho di rem waterazo ho no mo ode fura ko ye kwashimai kwan so a nyina ya Ablekuma North ho nso so no seat the NPP has held the seat from time in memorial apart from 1992 omo kan stolen verdict nti omo anko mrashid jefie no 1996 the NPP won the seat 2000 2004 2008 2016, 2020, but 2024, unfortunately, they lost the seat. A hono krano as a coalition problem be by a koba say a drew baby krano, a man you know, a normal corporate, honorable, a year queer free, and a dear Otisus is NDC candidate in Fancham in Refini Kakra. ono mu kosi omo billboard we say I'm a winner, we say I'm a winner, thank you Ablekumanov ekọ wi ase re-election course so e ma ye nyina hu de ekọ ye e ma NDC esan efa sa abana chese ekọ ye ba bia ye NPP stronghold omtimi maintain ye e wo Greater Accra region e ye one e ye so utum ba bia na Honorable Shelley Ayokobotwe, former minister for foreign affairs and ono na ye Commonwealth Association omo chairperson okojina ye no ono eho na chese NPP timi ewini maintain ye na Dr. Adomaku Kisi Dixon na ye mrashebedwani from 2029 BC 2024 na afin so Elder Tobin Samuel Tobin Tobi Nkoni nua Dr. Samuel Tobin beji free Dr. Adomaku Kisi nsem a ono so timi maintain ma NPP ebi oweja gbawe constituency so no na honorable tina na ayele mensa na ekura seat no ho no so no na kame akwese swing back the because NPP wa upper hand kakra before that na kan na weja gbawe afei so Gan West na anya so utum na nyina ye constituency ba ko na omutimi tete ho kakra ye nya ye Gan West ye benya anya so utum ye benya weja gbawe no enti weja gbawe so no honorable Jerry Ahmed Shaib na ekojina mu NPP na otimi ewini under some circumstances no utimi wini ma NPP ebi osusu no Trobu constituency Trobu eno susu Pokuase de ba ma Ofanko de reremu a de kosi baby a EC4 headquarters yi wo Ghana of yana merefi ehodi kaka mo fancheme eho nyina susu no Trobu constituency na Honorable Moses Anim na MP wo ho Honorable Moses Anim etena so mfi share dumienu na oye deputy minister for fisheries na o share Honorable Hawa Kumsin ase na ode ebe deputy na 2024 no Honorable Moses Anim lost the primaries need to Oba Gifty and ase Gloria Owusu Honorable and obeji free ni seme ho so na NPP timi wini Trouble constituency no esan ejina mu na bio another seater NPP etimi maintain ye Honorable Patrick Albuama the constituency NPP etimi maintain sa seat na chesa ya waso central otimi maintain ye dem but here baby to say Ablekuma North Ablekuma West Ablekuma Central Okankwe North Okankwe South Okankwe here omuwe Okankwe Central na Patrick Albuama the constituency NPP etimi ewini where ya waso east Nima de NDC stronghold aya waso central na NPP etimi balance NPP ni ade na aya waso West Wogon enso ye NPP ni nyina mu no omulusu sa city no aya waso West Wogon ebeka na ye yira Emmanuel Chemate eja ko na boboache eja ko ni nua be ma na ko ne nkrechi no na kura city no owuye na ye ne yire ebe so mu enti wentumi enkura mu anche na ono so je mu de ma Honorable John Dumelo ene we deputy minister for food and agriculture ono so ebeto aso nti those seats no seat na ka NPP almost strong seater omulusu ya fi so Madina so no na tutu sisi etimi NPP etimi NDC ho na kwa swing kakra but NDC were a bit of upper hand Honorable Alhaji Sorogu Amadu Sorogu constituency one more say Honorable Francis Javais Sosu atena so 2 terms in Madina ekoma NDC adentan so no ye seater swing kakra ya obuabia Samoa ebedi 2016 but unfortunately 2020 no ojemu edema Samuel Bawumiane brother NDC ni na 2024 so no akosia menu corporate NPP but unfortunately ankoyi afama akosia menu ewo Adenta constituency. These are some of the constituencies anaka likely say NPP betimi wini Lejokuku say Honorable Dr. Okoboy former health minister ono na oye MP wo ho no but Lejokuku no one thing is na MP bi antimi nko beyond one term wo hwe MP sa no mabanyina na obi antimi nko beyond one term so na there were doubts say Okoboy betimi akọ more than one term no be lusu ye Okoboy lusu ni seat no de ma ye Benayiku na Benayiku etimi akwato aso 2 eno so Crow so no NPP be winning some time ago and eno so no san lusu Crow constituency eno so ekoma so these are some of the dynamics so here baby it is clote kolia NPP timi ben seat no na afre mo say ho no ni noi not here okojina mu NPP ene kra no information about say ya chino US which means say ne yero no nete wa wona sekan ama oba no baby odane mu odente abrofo no aso ni mu a de ayere de eden a jewa na obetimi akose bia gise bia trade ampon ba mu na BBC ni etimi ja no nyesa de a ono sei otimi ben ho kakra bo ntimi anya mfi Zaneto Rollins ensem former president Rollins de ba Zaneto ensem a chese no afen so botiano English amanfro BNA so no Sylvester Tete former deputy information minister ono na MP ho but when timi enkura mu no kogya mu edema NDC candidates na oho no nti sane dynamics na wo greater Accra region de oho no and be also eastern region so no NPP was having a firm grip of the region but unfortunately they lost some seats bit say kwatia mu nyina no free NPP for nsa esojaman seat and NPP ye dwumaden a committee me wini esojaman but esojaman akodi NDC sana some part of achimansa ne ade bia kodi NDC for nsa antino eho nyina so so and back to the Ashanti region the World Bank of the NPP. Unfortunately, 47 constituencies no. And NPP anyana committee we need 43 or 44. But Sabri America say mu 10 seats in the NPP in sem. Intino akwa ye bibia ho e the mind. There are some regions they have 0 seats. We baby to say a voter region at 0 uti 0. Nka voter region they were able to work hard when they presented a year Peter Mewu for ho ye utimi be winima omo. But unfortunately he lost in the 2024 Central region. So no, one of the regions are a swing, but now NPP were upper hand kakra. Before a year 2020 elections, NPP Central region year I think 23 seats. NPP were 19, and I just say Nanyasam Ketwa. But they have less than 3 seats in the Central region, which is quite unfortunate. Omotimie winia wini kas omotimie lusu kaswe nyina we Gomua Central, Gomua East, Gomua West nyina Cape Coast North, Cape Coast South ni 9 PP lusu those seats no. A sense South na omotimie we Mfantima na MPP seats pa omo lusu. Even Honorable Kennedy Apon ne constituency watena so 24 years with NPP no also no omo lusu seats no edema NDC. So we don't know what went wrong, but people were blaming them for the excess hardship and also mining from Kufado na memum na nkrofon wo kire mo pa e de bi corruption perception na dan kufotirim se ketashe na the opulence kwan na party ni mu mpanifo na so mo aban fa so live your life kwan na chese obehu minister we na obigina video call na oni oba chese sika no mo se no ne ade atum se manfo no kire but they were living lavishly no ka ho na NPP lost the elections ko bono say Bunu seats na NPP lusu ya neighbor kokra no eni omusem Bunu East no mobi and afin so no ahafo and omobi e wo honom Western of Kra the NPP enye bi and Western region where baby to say Takwa Insoyem NPP lost chese Ketan chese ni na NPP lost all those seats chese we don't know what happened to the party but if they do their work well they can bounce back. It will be difficult for NPP to win in 2028 but in hard working so and how they will be able to psych the minds of the populace. So and then peace pact na abano oma sign we say presidential prime minister because 31st the whole live feed you visit most of the constituencies near the reporter on Abraham who is holding the flag for NPP in 2028. Is it Dr. Bomia? Is it Kennedy Japan? Is it Brian Champon? Is it Educhum or Kwabene J Japan? But we have a fierce contest between Alhaji Bomia and Honorable Kennedy Japan. We say no, Omumienu and the Becca say about to Nijidom Super. Brian is a force to reckon with, but with this particular elections, according to polls, Abba Bontini Adinano, he stands no chance of winning this kind of contest. If you post now, but Dr. Bomia, it become Honorable Kennedy Japan. So we are waiting for the end or to the end of the contest. Why and a baby magic victorious? Must not be too frank. Is it Dr. Bomia or Bar? Message Ben or Debra Ghana for how is he going to reclaim all the lost seats and improve upon that? And if it is Honorable Kennedy Japan, what is his message and how is he going to reclaim all the lost seats? And the young car someone it's going to hand them one day and say, and I'm okay internal contest, and you are brandishing guns, you are insulting people, like a lot of vilifications going on. And say, what me we near a dear na be a bit me a train, a nipana, what 21 can hold some bonny, now why and what one tan de ama a delegates, nay, a year populist no, Edian a bit me asan ka fa ne ho abe rebrand no na odi na be chere Ghana for ma Ghana for ye de na tum kai say nneema bu na je o Gen Z for no ya adwene no e sharp enti no ye kai bibia enti nensem amoka no e betimi akoback abai hantem campaign trail no aye hyehyehye a chese enipa e wo so no nya asem keto enti ye hwe nim hwan ene bedi mu nkuni mu betimi de wadwen chere na abai papa mu no ye be kenkan e de mo enti NPP amanyuko no sabe de omo akwa akosensan krata e chere say 2026 a presidential primaries because January 31st no omunina evidence ban padi na abato no sunsun so ebe ban so beje tum. It was in the presence of the National Peace Council, the Ghana Police Service, Electoral Commission, and all other stakeholders, and witnessed by the former President John Ajekum Kufuor, the representative, and another Dan Kufuor, Nankasemu, and a party executive from General Secretary, Acting Chairman, Organizer, Women Organizer, and idea. Now, Ebi Kase, Mami Kate Jimfua, one women front of the NPP, out of form, and she on Ukwana Kakwetia, a giant asopa, but or Bikisho say Akwetia, NPP Eluzia Akwetia. So all these are some of the things that just say Galam say near dear near Cosonia Adinano, and whoso born a ma, and another Danko Kufad, Namamun, Echo, and a beer once do baby, none another was tagged as an arrogant to do baby, can do baby him for or say him for an soaring chan and the Ninano Yadia, a man for no machine. It's an answer by why she that now science and a man. Now just a man for no, one more able no, but after all, you said. Party Bahanoma lose no makwaba. 2016, Mahama lost miserably, but he was able to go back, do his homework well, and came back. He bounced back stronger, and so maybe the NPP can come back to power. It depends on them, the executives, and what they will do to rebrand the party. Namana Ayakonti. Among far the worst of Honorable Kwame Nafenyo Markin, Enye Juma, and the worst of Akufo-Addo Enye Juma. Akufo-Addo Nankasano Otufono. He's the cause of NPP's downfall, and that's the facts. And so in my NPP, Elusian, he's a major part of it. Nobody saying he didn't do well. He did well in terms of project. Akufo-Addo Ejumapa, and I just said before Bape and a new Swadie. And I don't know Akufo-Addo why you free SHS and Kofoka said you didn't conform payment free SHS. How bomb or Ghana and Kenya the drone delivery system. Omo de buy and near maybe on the buyer a bomb or minor entity media. Nimum economy nanka a best so man for the to Kuma Edeno. Any failure NPP and having arrogance, abuse of power, any idea in my NPP, but still, you say there is hope for tomorrow. You heard him say the baby NPP definitely one day they will bounce back to power. Maybe betting me so far as Ghana is a democratic country, yes, every 8 years. Is it going to be a 4-year break for NDC, or they will continue to 8 years and I said they will stay in power forever? And a break and a Bushia, I am this analysis. Kakana yedeba no wetimi afa mu aba nti NPP primaries ne koswa yede ho life yede bebremo yemfa sedama tap send Adabov roofing Remy Spices Kim Bernard Printing Press Efie Bitters ene woni eka ho nyina so mbo ichidom ene adontini medicine of a production team na ayade na mu once na me so no me fa ncha kese nkoma obapa ekua prempe ene afenso so no aduana batina obapa tina we Italy abuchimemo obeye 1-2-1-2 gidi se bia ye boko nyankopon twedi ampon kam ho mami ekua prempe nyame Israel Oshamo pa Martin Komana se rade Oshamo pa Benesio Damase pa ebio ekua prempe na me wo fasefo entafo kinkinka no mudiom birthday enra unfortunately we could not come live enti mami fa konya we so emfa happy birthday kese enkoma me wo fasefo no entafo kinkinka atani atapeni ni kakra nyame Israel omama hoden enkwanim de ni nyansa mbetimi nyi abempe ni pa na edin a ahyeta wiase nyina no mususu mudin emetre hyeta wiase ehu se ampa mu enso Erade ehyiram Erade mama hoden no nyini eye brum belated happy birthday to you my wofasefo abusunya mefa mu nyina ensia amenkram bye bye.
Spices naima. Hello. Mama spices are ebe mama aduane aye tasty, appetizing and delicious.
Spices day and no Remy spices. Or deliver Remy, dependable.
Remy Spices, Remy.
Fiam papa, what the Remy spices you again? And my aduane you fine. Kai say Remy spices dey so who you swa. And for spices fufuro bia amfra. If we say Remy spices dey or dinner home. Flavors no so dey bebre. Chicken, goat, jollof, stew. Spices be our shishano. Remy will be ho. And for aduane dey ento chacha. Perfect. Remy spices. And my aduane ye dekeke. Kai say aduane bia ye spices ye dey. fa Remy Spices ye ni nyina.
Remy Spices, Remy.
FDA aje jodi nkrato yatom.
Oheneba Media for Efremu. I have man say Media Royals. Media mo adehye no. Asiye bana, entasemana. Amamla ni amani emu dwumadie. Oheneba Media betenete. Enti amafo muntie ye. Muntie na nyado.